We don't actually know why the spike happened last year, because incrementally it had been reducing every year, year on year, for the last 6 to 10 years really. Some of it was to do with the weather and the time, the day of the week that it is. But really there's no real evidence as to why that spike occurred. The reason why it has reduced year on year was because first of all, you have the local authorities going around removing the stockpiles of material. So there's a very active campaign amongst all of the local authorities, reaching out to the communities with a number to ring if you see a stockpile of material, and they report it. There's nobody getting charged or prosecuted, and the council just come and take it away. So what that has done for us is it has reduced the amount of bonfires, but also the ones that still go ahead, they've reduced in size because the stockpiles of material have been taken away from them.
It's obviously a busy night on Halloween. We get lots of small fires and bonfires, and the lead up to Halloween is the same. It's quite busy. On the night itself, our focus is on making sure everyone is safe. We're not there to try and ruin people's fun. We understand bonfires can be fun for people, and we would like people to attend the council organised events if possible. But I'd also like to just emphasise that when we arrive at a bonfire, if it's threatening structures or infrastructure like overhead wires, etc., we might have to take action. Other than that, we're hoping to allow people enjoy themselves and not to be intervening if not required.
The safety of our crews is it's paramount safety. And as a result, we have a suite of measures that are in place all the time. We have our standard operating guidelines, we have our risk assessments, and we have our dynamic risk assessment, and we have our incident command system, all of which are there as a safe system of work to keep people safe from any kind of hazards like that. If we have on the, we will meet with the Garda Síochána before Halloween. There'll be a plan put in place. So if we're going into any areas where there might be some antisocial behaviour, the Garda Public Order Unit will be on standby. And if we fear that there's danger there, we'll request them to go in ahead of ourselves to look at it. We also send around a district officer. The district officer will go and assess all of the fires, the bonfires, and some that maybe smaller bonfires in the middle of a field somewhere it's not causing any great issue, that will be down to low priority. Larger ones that are dangerous, that are nearer to property, that are under telegraph wires or whatever like that, we may have to deal with them first.
First thing, know where your kids are, especially the teenagers, know where they're going. Try and encourage them and bring your children to council organised events. Please, please, please do not buy fireworks or bangers for your children. The injuries that we see every year that are inflicted by fireworks on young kids are horrific. So I'd ask parents not to buy them. They are illegal, so you shouldn't really be buying them or shouldn't be able to buy them. People generally aren't too happy with us putting their bonfire out. It can spark off some hassle at times. So from that perspective, that element of it is something that we dread. But particularly for our East Regional Communication Centre, the control centre, they are literally flat out on that night, and it's very, very difficult for them to manage the amount of calls that come in. So they have to bring in kind of a new system of how they take calls and prioritise calls for the evening, because we literally can't respond to every one of the calls. And remember, they're not just dealing with Dublin, they're dealing with the whole East Region, 14 counties in the East Region they're dealing with. We did our own launch for firework safety back in September with the Department of Justice, and in the process of that we show a firework in a mannequin's hand. I don't know if you've seen it, but the firework, we place it into the mannequin's hand and set it on fire. Very, very controlled, with a firefighter in full protective gear with a torch to actually light the firework. And while we were doing it, not only did it blow the mannequin's hand apart, literally blew it apart, but it went off within about 2 seconds. It went off really, really quickly, and we weren't expecting it to go off that quickly. So it just shows you there is no control over these. People there's been significant life-changing injuries that we've seen year in, year out, caused by fireworks. And fireworks even going off without any ignition.
just by friction, by overheating in kids' pockets or whatever going off in their pocket, and then fireworks going off in directions that they're not meant to go off as well. Spiraling out of control. But especially when you see people throwing fireworks into bonfires, there's no telling which way it's going to come out at and what direction it's going to fly. Setting fire to children's playgrounds and things like that, those kind of amenities. Those kind of amenities are long and hard fought for by the communities, sponsored for and paid for by the local authorities. There's a lot of work and a lot of effort goes in there. And if you even just take a football pitch, never mind the actual playground, but if you light a bonfire on a football pitch in the centre of that pitch is out of action for a year. It takes a full year for that to grow back from the environmental impact of it. But like, who wants to see amenities being destroyed, particularly for young kids? So anytime you see anything like that with regards to playground or as you said, the public toilets and so on, it's very disheartening. But unfortunately, that's sometimes just does happen.